What's shaking, everybody? It is Victoria Anion here from Radioactive, and we have a rather interesting episode for everybody today. Isn't that right, Ian?
I guess this is pretty nutty, but I mean, this shit just happened like 5 days ago, so I mean, it's kind of relevant still. I mean, so
Today, we are going to be talking about near-death experiences. And I'm sure, to some extent, everyone has probably had a near-death experience. Living ain't easy, you know? So whether you have almost got hit by a car, maybe you ran your car into something, maybe a deer or moose almost trampled you. Maybe you almost drowned. Maybe you almost choked. I don't know. The possibilities are really endless. But Ian has a rather interesting near-death experience that
yeah.
share.
So this just happened, like I said, this just happened. Like I've got a handful. I've got like two or three, but one just happened and it's still kind of fresh in there. And to be honest with you, it didn't really rattle my cage all that much because, like I said, it's happened before. Um, for the sake of employment, I'm not going to say where I work. I'm not going to use a company name. But what I can tell you is that this happened at a bar. Shocker, right? Um, so I was at said bar, right? And there was a scuffle, right? And I kind of jumped in and was just kind of like trying to pull my old friend of mine who was on top of the guy, right? I'm like, hey, man, you just get off of him, right? And my old childhood friend was pulling the guy I just mentioned. So
Use fake
Nathan was
first
on,
names. Just fake
yeah,
first names.
first name, okay?
Bradley. We're using fake first names. We have Bradley and we have Justin.
Bradley and
Bradley and
Justin.
Justin.
Okay, Bradley and Justin. Okay,
Yes.
so Bradley was on top of the guy, right? And Justin was trying to pull Bradley off, right? And I'm trying to, who did I say was on the ground with the guy?
Bradley.
Bradley, right? Justin's trying to pull Bradley off. Bradley's on top of this guy. So I'm like, Bradley, dude, just get off of this guy. And like mid sentence, I stopped and I looked down. The guy that Bradley was on top of had a gun pointed right at me. It wasn't pointed at me, but I mean, it was technically. I don't think he meant to shoot me. I think he just had it sticking out of his pocket and his hand was on it and it was pointing right at me, right? So within seconds, I'm like, oh God, I got to get out of here. So I took off running, right? I didn't stop for anything. I just ran. I just ran. So there's a sidewalk, right? So you take off running down the sidewalk, right? And then I stopped and I turned around and the guy was just standing there like Clint Eastwood at the end of a old Western movie, right? And there were these people just like in shock and like just flabbergasted, right? I didn't stop for anything. I took off running again and I made it around to the back of the building and I heard like nine gunshots go off, right? So nobody was hurt. Turns out the guy just put his gun in the air and shot nine times in the air, right? Uh, so nobody was hurt, thankfully. Otherwise, we would probably not be, sharing this but yeah, nobody was hurt. It was all pretty scary, but thankfully, no, everybody's okay, right? Um, but yeah, pretty much just if you go to a bar, don't bring a gun. Just don't do it. Don't do
How
that.
about if you just go anywhere, don't bring a gun?
Well, people in Missouri are firm believers in like conceal and carry and the right to bear arms, which I get, but I mean, when you mix alcohol and guns, it's just never a good
Mhm.
combination. I don't know.
Like, you can't tell me you need to bring a gun to a movie theater, like
No, you
those
don't.
are absurd
Exactly.
places. Like, you don't need to bring a gun grocery shopping within reason. I'm in Canada, so obviously, we don't have the right. It's against the law to carry a firearm without proper paperwork or just in general. You have to either be hunting, or if it's a handgun, you have to have like you have to have it in its case, a lock case, all the paperwork with you. And if you have a handgun, it's for like shooting range purposes. So by law, you have to pack it up, go to the shooting range, pack it up, and go home. You are not allowed to make any stops in between the range and your house. Right? So I mean, for us, that's kind of like just crazy that people, carry guns just with them wherever they go in the States. But like I can understand maybe some places self-defense, especially, women or small boys. I don't know. But like I can kind of understand it, but you don't need to bring, like you said, alcohol and firearms. Not a good idea.
Not a good combination. Never
No,
has been.
no.
And unfortunately, like I said, it's not been the first time I've been met with a situation of that magnitude, right? So again, I'm going to refrain from using any names. Um, I was at a house party, right? And the thing is, you have to keep in mind, I am a firm believer that St. Louis as a whole is a dangerous place, okay? It always has been and it always will be. But the town that I grew up in and I still live in until further notice, right? I don't believe that it is a dangerous place. In fact, quite the opposite. We live in actually a very calm, small town. Everybody's pretty friendly and homely, right? Humble. Like we live in the suburbs and small businesses, right? Um, I don't think that we live in a dangerous place. I think that the people that occupy these places make it dangerous, right? Um, this house party was about 20 minutes away, right? From where I'm at now. Uh, 5 minutes away from the apartment I used to live in with my old college roommate, like last year, right? So, and again, it wasn't in a dangerous place either, right? Nothing dangerous about it. Pretty good spot, right? But some dumb guy thought it was a good idea to bring a firearm to a party full of college students drinking alcohol. And surprise, surprise, the gun goes off, and some poor guy, like 21, 22 years old, is now paralyzed from the neck down, right? And I had a friend, really good friend of mine, in the other room where the gun was. As soon as the gun came out, he walked out of the room, right, towards me and my friends. Nobody was threatening anybody, but some dummy was like, oh, hey, check this out, and like handed it around for everybody to look at. And guess what? Somebody gets hurt, right?
Mhm.
I don't know. People are stupid.
Yep. I have to agree. Like I said, I've never been in a situation like that. I know there's some places in Canada, let alone like Saskatchewan, that are kind of more dangerous places. I'm not near them. So I mean, but with that being said, you go anywhere and it can be a dangerous place, right? It, like I said, it depends on the people there. It's the people that make it a problem.
Well, yeah, and people, guns do not kill people. Okay, people kill people. I firmly believe that a gun is a gun. It does not have arms and legs.
It's how it's used.
It's how it's used.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. So, but I mean, it looks like you are a seasoned professional when it comes to gun issues.
Yeah, man. Like it's terrible how many situations I've been in where, it's kind of I'm accustomed to it. It doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't rattle my cage anymore. Like I'm completely fine. Um, but yeah, a lot of my coworkers were My coworkers were placing bets. They were like, there's no way this guy, it was, you got to keep in mind, that was my second day working at that place. Second day. They were like, there's no way this guy comes back. And I showed up for two more shifts and I work Friday. I work again Friday. We had a Christmas party at the place last night. Everybody that worked there was there, just hanging out, having fun. Like nothing happened. Um, so yeah.
So on Friday, when that happened to you, I had a show in Regina to play. So I'm on my way up to the city and I almost hit a deer. So, I mean, it was a small deer. It wouldn't have hurt me. It would have hurt my car, but I don't think it would have hurt me. To be honest, I wasn't really going fast enough. But yeah, almost hit a deer. So that was kind of like, it was close, like a few feet, but I kind of just like swerved and we were good to go. I was like, I'm not stopping. I got a show to get to. We gotta go. And yeah, the deer just like slowly went across the highway and away he went. So that was a close call. Not really near death, but close call incident. But with that being said, I've never been in a super harmful situation with other people. But when I was like, I don't know, maybe like 6, I almost choked on a Skittle. You know what Skittles are.
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow, right? Victoria was trying to taste the rainbow, and I almost died because of the rainbow. So I choked on a Skittle. I don't know what color it was, but I'm choking, full on choking on a Skittle. I start turning purple. I start turning blue because I can't breathe. My mom's freaking out, but she ended up just like hitting my back enough where I just like threw it up. And here I am today. I'm okay.
The Heimlich. The
No,
Heimlich
I don't even think
maneuver.
she did that. Well, she might have.
What?
I vividly remember this. So we were in our kit. I think I want to say we were going somewhere or getting back somewhere. And we're in our kitchen. And I don't really remember choking, to be honest. Probably because my brain was like, no oxygen, right? So I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Um, and I vividly remember her like leaning me kind of like over and she was like hitting my back, kind of like kind of like here, like smoking my back to like make me try cough. I don't think I was given like the Heimlich, but I could have been. I don't even remember. But yes, that happened. That was probably the closest like almost death experience of mine. When like at the time I was like, not that big of a deal, but when you think back on it, it's like, dude, I could have actually died.
Yeah. I mean, let me see. I've choked before. Sometimes I have like a hard time swallowing shit, and then it
Mhm.
takes me like gulp, gulp, and then it goes down,
Oh, and it
right?
just hurts like right here when you swallow, just like, ow.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
hurts, man. But I don't think I've ever like choked on anything a day in my life. Oh, but I did swallow a quarter or dime or nickel or something when I was like a kid. Like I was about 5 years old, maybe. And yeah, I was in the back seat of my grandmother's car. My mom and dad were driving, and I was in the back seat with my grandma, and I swallowed this coin. And my mom's just like freaking out, like, oh my God, he swallowed a coin. Keith, pull over. That's my dad's name. Keith is my dad's name. Keith, pull over the car. He just swallowed a coin. So I'm not sure if this is true, but I think my mom had to like dig through my shit or something and make sure like I pooped it out.
Probably. Hmm. I wouldn't doubt it, probably.
I don't remember, but
Yeah.
anyway.
The funny thing is, do you know what cake pops are?
I
They're
don't
like,
like where this is going.
no, no, but do you know what cake pops are?
Yes.
They're like this, for anyone that doesn't know, it's cake, but they're in like a circle and they're on a stick and you like eat them. So I ate a cake pop. And when I was younger, I still do, but I'm a bit better. When I was younger, I just didn't like to chew my food. I was like, I'd have those fruit cups with the peaches. I'd just eat those and just swallow them whole. Like just down the hatch, swallow them whole. And I don't know why. I still have issues with chewing my food. Um, but when I was younger, I ate a cake pop and I accidentally swallowed a whole cake pop. and it just like it really hurt like going down my throat, but then it didn't get like stuck or anything. I think I did like a and then it like loosened up, whatever. But a freaking Skittle, like something that's like this big, I choke on, but a freaking cake pop, I'm fine. Bizarre.
That is pretty bizarre.
Like, yeah. And I do recall a time my sister was like, we were eating freezies for you guys. I don't know what the hell you call freezies. Um, but a freezie is they're in like the plastic tubes and you put them in the freezer and it's like a frozen popsicle, an icy pop, whatever you guys want to call them in the States. We call them freezies.
You
And
call them freezes.
yeah, they're freezies. And the brand, one of the brands is Mr. Freeze, and it has like a snowboarding snowman. But anyway, we eat freezies. That's what a freezie is. So me and my sister were eating freezies on a very hot Canadian summer day, and we were singing along to some songs, and my sister proceeds to inhale like this much of her freezie, and she was just like, and I was like, holy shit. But obviously, like, freezies don't take long to melt. So by the time I registered this and started freaking out and throw my hands in the air, it was already melted and she was fine. Other than choking, I haven't really had too many near-death experiences. Knock on wood. I'll be okay.
Right.
My homeboy Jesus has my back.
Your homeboy Jesus has your back.
That's definitely the big one right there is death by
I don't
Skittle.
understand how you choke on a Skittle, but you managed to swallow a cake pop whole.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird. Or like when you eat a pickle and like the vinegar,
Huh.
and it just like makes you choke. Yeah.
There
But
are for all my functioning alcoholics out there, there are these things called pickle shots. The most rancid thing you could probably do as a shot. It's vulgar, it's gross, but yeah, it gets the job done. But it's pretty gross. It like makes your tummy feel weird too. Like you just inhaled vinegar. And it's just ugh. My cousin, I have a cousin down in Texas. She loves pickles. Eats the whole damn like jar. I
dude,
don't.
let me tell you a story. When I was like 12 or 13, I finished a jar of pickles. I love pickle juice. And my mom, my mom walks into the kitchen to me with a glass and the jar of pickle juice, and I'm dumping the pickle juice in a glass, and I was just gonna walk around drinking the pickle juice. And she was like, "You can't drink
Oh,
that. That's full of sugar or full of salt." And I'm like, "Just let me be, woman. Let me drink my pickle juice." I didn't drink the pickle juice, by the way. She took the glass away before I could drink it.
that's disgusting. Disgusting.
Pickle juice is
Disgusting.
Pickle juice is amazing. And speaking of
No, it's not. Why do you think?
pickle juice is so good, okay? It's amazing. It's great. You can't tell me otherwise. If I had pickle juice right now, I would down a thing of pickle juice. Um, this reminds me of a totally off-topic story. But when I was younger, we went to Edmonton, to the West Edmonton Mall. And in the arcade, there was a bunch of like the big stuffed animals that you could try win out of the big claw machine. And there was a pickle, and his name was Mr. Pickle. Cutest little stuffed pickle I've ever seen. And I really wanted this pickle, and I tried and tried to get this pickle, and I could not get Mr. Pickle. And by the end of our trip, I was so depressed because I was not coming home with Mr. Pickle.
That reminds me of that episode of Rick and Morty where Rick turns himself into a pickle and he's like,
Pickle
"Yo, I'm
Rick.
Pickle Rick. What's good?" I have a little car magnet with Pickle Rick on the back. I'll have to take a picture so you can like insert it.
I'm
in-
pretty sure there's a video of Andy Biersack like in Hot Topic, I think it is like hugging Pickle Rick. It was like a stuffed pickle.
Yeah, he is. He's just hugging Pickle
Yeah.
Rick. I don't know if he watches Rick and Morty or not. Rick and Morty's like a personal favorite of mine.
As far as near-death experiences go, that's pretty much all I got.
I got one more.
Okay, share. Please share.
Got one more. I'm kind of an idiot. I'm kind of reckless, so I'm surprised I'm still here and not like dead. So when I was 19 years old, right? When I was 19, I was going to community college and I'm on my way. I'm on the highway. I'm on 270. All the Missouri people will know what that is. I'm on 270 and I'm pulled off at the exit going towards Kirkwood, Missouri, right? And I'm just stopped. I'm in the exit lane, right? About to get off going to Kirkwood and I have music on like full blast. I'm just jamming, listening to music, tapping the steering wheel, and then all of a sudden I just hear glass break behind me and I'm like, oh. And then my head smacks the steering wheel and I black out, right? I don't remember anything. And then I wake up, right? And I'm on the side of the highway about 30 feet behind where I was sitting. The car is in reverse, by the way. I look around my car is just in smithereens, like it's totaled. And all my clothes are go all over the place. There's change where it shouldn't be. Like I had a cup full of change. It's gone. Wretched and Divine by Black Veil Brides. The CD is in my CD player and it's gone. It's long gone. But it was yeah, man, it was just really, really like surreal. And I thought I was dreaming. So I looked around and I'm like, where the hell am I? And this paramedic and this bystander are looking in my car at me from the passenger seat with the door open. And they're like, hey, man, listen, we got to get you out of this car. You've just been in an accident. Like, we're taking you to the hospital. And I'm like, yo, what? And I'm in my PJs, dude. I am in my pajama bottoms, a five-finger death punch t-shirt, and I am just like losing my mind. Like, I can't, this isn't happening, right? And I get loaded up in the ambulance, and then I'm like, okay, this is real. I should probably call my mom. And the best part about this whole thing, it is her 59th birthday.
No.
The day that this happens, it's her birthday, and she's dolled up. I call my mom and I didn't answer the phone. A paramedic was the one who called her. And I'm like, hey, can I talk to my mom, yo? Like, and that's the only thing she can hear in the background. And this paramedic's like, hey, is this Julie, Ian's mom? She's like, yeah, who's this? This is a paramedic. Your son's been in an accident. We're taking him to the hospital. And if you know me personally, you know I love messing with my mom. That's like one of my favorite things to do is mess with her. I don't know why. It's just funny. It's funny. I like messing with my mom. Uh, that was not a time to be messing with her. That was serious. And at first she was kind of like, "Oh, I don't know if I believe this," but then he was like, "Ma'am, I'm telling you the truth. Like your son's going to the hospital." Should not be alive. That was a fatal car crash. So what happened, I was stationary. The guy behind me got hit. The guy behind me tried to avoid hitting me, clipped the back right side of my car. I spun out, and this big behemoth truck just smoked me on my side. Thank God I was wearing my seatbelt. Otherwise, wouldn't be here. But yeah,
Moral of the story, wear your seatbelts, kids.
seatbelts save lives.
That's crazy. Well, I have no more stories. Ian is just on his last life right now. But if you're watching this, if you've had any crazy near-death experiences or just any near-death experiences for that matter, please let us know.
We're wearing the same shirt, aren't we?
We are.
We're in the
We are
same shirt.
twinning. Twinning is winning.
Winning is winning.
Three things we've learned today.
Yeah!
We've learned three things today. Twinning is indeed winning. Some people don't know how to drive. Wear your seatbelts and don't bring guns to a bar.
Don't bring guns to bars.
And if you try to taste the rainbow, don't choke on the rainbow. But that is all that we have for you guys today. We will see you next time on Radioactive. Everyone, get ready for the 2024 Radioactive Music Awards coming to you live. Actually, not live, pre-recorded. February 9th and 10th.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it.